Glad to have you join us on Sports Today on ABS TV. It's another Friday, and that's time for us to reincarnate the spirit of the weekend. You saw West Ham United Tottenham game. It wasn't the Carabao Cup, ended 3-1. The draws made, and we are set for the big one coming out this weekend. We'll be looking at that, a review of major leagues across Western Europe. But before then, of course, we'll have to start it back home, and of course, from our comfort zone. My name is Ike Mokedi. Welcome to the show once more. The last for the weekday, you have to say, a special edition of the show. We'll be looking at the Anambra State Sports Development Commission, the dawn of a new era in sports in Anambra State. We'll take a look at some of its program with a special focus on the big one happening tomorrow. Hashtag Walk4life. We'll talk about that, the fun way to keep fit. We'll tell you all you need to know about that. We'll have the right person in the house to talk about that. Talking about Mr. Tony Oli, Chairman, the Anambra State Sports Development Commission. Also on the show, we'll be talking about Falcons coach Thomas Denabi. He said that the deadline for players to return to camp or to come to camp for the outcome is on November 4th. I will be seeing who's getting into camp on that. We'll also be talking about Novak Djokovic. Will get us talking on the show. No world #1 ranking in the aftermath of the ATP. And then Arsenal has told Aaron Ramsey that he may need to find a new club in the summer. A whole lot going down in the world of sports. We'll also be giving you the fixtures on the show. But let's come back home. Let's start on a special way. Joining us on the show today, we'll have Mr. Tony Oli. Mr. Tony Oli is the chairman, Anambra State Sports Development Commission here. Good to have you on the show. Good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Ikenna.
Delighted to have you on the show. Let's start on a very very calm and blissful note. Let's talk about, of course, you being the chairman of the Anambra State Sports Commission. Is the revamp. It used to be Ministry of Youth Entrepreneurship and Sports Development. Now sports are taken away from that. Yeah. How has it been for you at the helm in the past 5 to 6 months?
Yeah, quite a good experience. The governor, in his wisdom, to give sports a special place, carved out, sports commission from the old Anambra State Minister of Youth, Entrepreneurship and Sports. So sports at its own desk now. Definitely. As a sports commission. Actually, it's a sports development commission. So our mandate is to develop sports from the grassroots to the top. So it has been a very good experience working with the great staff we met there, and we believe we are going to take it to the next level.
Let's talk about the crux of the matter. Tomorrow, we are seeing the maiden edition of hashtag Walk4life, the fun way to walk. What is this initiative all about?
It's all about good living, healthy living. Everybody in the morning, hustle and bustling of life. You take off in the morning, come back in the night. No time to exercise. So we created this platform, especially for the executive, arm of government. Okay. And by then, take everybody along, to do a little exercise along the way. Okay. And we call it Walk4life. So it's a normal walking, you walk like 1, 2, 3 kilometers without knowing. We create fun. There will be music. So in that way, you'll be burning calories.
Definitely.
You live healthy. And when we start it, over time, it becomes part of you.
Sure.
So on your own, you will do it on your own without anybody compelling you. That is just, the aim. Yeah.
Now, of course, you look at the axis where this will happen. Is expected to commence close to the governor's lodge at Anambra, and by 7 a.m. it will commence. And along that route to where the termination point is the Trunk B road. Now, one has to bring this thing into the picture in terms of control of traffic. Yeah, any measures?
Yeah, sure, definitely. Of course, we are not working alone.
Okay.
We have contacted all the relevant agencies. We are also still, the initial route we wanted to take is to take through Akoka, but whichever route you take is still along the Trunk, AOB road. Okay. So whichever route you take, you must have this traffic control. So the road safety, the ATMA, we have contacted all of them. So there will be very good control. And by the way, it will be early in the morning. So before the heavy traffic will, emerge, we'll have completed. We expect that before 9 o'clock, is done. I don't think this is something that is going to last for more than 2 hours. So between 7 and 9, I'm sure we are done. Yeah.
Now, we've seen we've seen the schedule and the advertisement on that front, and there's 4 refill points that you made mention in the flyers. Specifically, what is
no, the refill points, what we mean by refill points, where people can, pick up water, refill and keep on moving. Because we understand that, because it's the maiden edition, of course, that is what it should be always. People get tired along the line. People could be thirsty, right? So we place these things along the line, so that when you are thirsty, you get there, you grab water, you cool down yourself and keep moving. And by the way, we are also working with our swimmer to make sure that receptacles are along the road, so you don't litter the road as you go along. So while we are doing that, you pick, you refill, you drop it at the appropriate place. So these are why we have the refill points there to support the work. And
this is laudable exercise, I have to say, coming from the Anambra State Sports Development Commission. But events of this nature, let's talk about sustainability. Has this come to stay?
Sure, definitely. We're already planning for the second edition, because this first edition is as good as done. Tomorrow it will happen. The second edition will be on 1st of December, because we are looking at first Saturday of every month. So we're already planning for the second edition, which is 1st of December. So immediately we finish this one, and some other programs we'll have along the way, for the Sports Commission. We start talking about the second edition. And the third edition, which will be either January or February, because of the Xmas, period. By the time we finish, we'll be talking, in short, somewhere along the line, we'll be planning 6 months ahead of time. So it's going to be sustained. And the way we want to make it also is after the second edition, we'll start rotating it among the 3 senatorial zones. Maybe we take the third edition to Onitsha. And the fourth edition, we take it to Newi. You understand? Because we are talking of Anambra State. We're not talking of Oka. We are talking of Anambra State. And over a period of time, we could now encourage the whole state so that every first Saturday of the month at the local government levels, it will be a spontaneous, exercise. That is our aim.
Now, Chairman, we know that events of this magnitude can metamorphose into something bigger. In the nearest future, we may have a chance to host an international marathon. Any plans in the pipeline to have this coming to Anambra State?
A journey of 1,000 miles started in a day. First, to create the interest in our own way, and we start attracting sponsors, and we start, developing into marathon, and over a period of time, it will go there. So let's start first and get there. We have it, our eyes are on the ball, but we need to start something first. Let people know that these things are possible. Once they know they are possible, that is the evidence. Then they will get on board and will keep on riding. So we have it in plan.
Away from the Walk for Life for the moment now, let's talk about the 19th National Sports Festival. Last week and last 2 weeks, we are talking about the trials in Anambra State for the 19th Sports Festival. We had a track and field event at Rojeni Stadium, combat sports at the EQMS State Square. Chubai Bazu Stadium hosted the board games. Tell us about the outcome.
Fantastic. What we've done is to decentralize it. We did it, within that last 2 weeks, we started from all the zones, North Senatorial Zone, South, and Central. And last Monday, Monday, we now brought everybody that qualified from the zones into one bucket, and now did another trial. So we will take it phases. Now we are compiling the names of the people that qualified. By end of next week, we will come up with a final list of people we are calling into camp in preparation for the National Sports Festival. We intend to have camp for like 3 weeks, after which we now come up with a final list of people that are going to represent Anambra State. So it has been a wonderful experience, and there is a lot of excitement, within the sports family. So by the end of the week, we'll get back to you people to let you know the list, so that it will be made public.
And how many sporting events are we expecting to participate in at the 9th National Sports Festival?
For now, we are looking at least about 22. About 3 team events. The state has already qualified in cricket and volleyball men to represent the Southeast. At the National Sports Festival. The zonal elimination was held at Enugu last month, and the state qualified, in these 2 events. So we are going with about 3 team events, and the rest individual events are for about 19. So that is what we are preparing for.
We have to say congratulations at that point. In terms of our personnel, how many are we taking to the venue of our National Sports Festival? You have the figure now?
No, the figures cannot be, we can't have the figure now until the final list. Because as you are doing in camping and you are having the elimination series going on, it's until maybe 1 week to the, the festival before you can have your actual final list. Because a lot of them, like the officials, are dependent on the number of athletes they are going with. So this is has to be worked out depending on who is in and who is out. Sure.
Now, I have to factor this in. We'll talk about this contest called Freestyle Football. A winner in Anambra State we hear will be going to Poland to represent Nigeria in that. Have you heard about that, and have you mainstreamed into that?
Oh, sure. I met the young man within the week. He was around. We met and we had a very fruitful discussion. Okay. And I'm also inviting him to be around when we launch the football season, which is coming up on 30th of November. I'm sure his talent will be showcased on that very day. Wow. So that the state will know that we have a son who is going outside this country to, make us proud. So I've been in touch with him. Had a fruitful discussion. So he will be around. The state will see him at the appropriate time.
Let's talk about sports at the school level. Just 2 months ago, we had the Under-13 Athletics Championship happened in Ilorin. What was the outcome? How did the Anambra State fare? Team Anambra as a whole?
We didn't come first, but we did very well.
Wow.
And the experience is what we are using now to prepare ourselves for the National Sports Festival. Okay? At least we won 3 gold medals and 5 bronze and 7 silvers. That is not fantastic, but it's a starting point. The experience we gather from there, we are using it here, and we're also going to use it to launch the school sports so that we pick them quite early. Our program is such that by May 27th, we'll have terminated the school sports.
All right.
So that those of them that we have picked, we'll have used them and prepared them in the camp within the long holiday. Our idea is to create a holiday program and use them, prepare for the youth sports, which normally comes up between August and September. So when we terminate the school sports program, discussing with the relevant authorities, ASUBEB, Ministry of Basic Education, then we program and end it May. They finish their WAEC exam on their relevant exam. By July, they are supposed to be on long vac. We will be opening like sports camp.
Definitely.
For them. That's what we have in mind.
Sports today on ABS TV, the Friday edition. We are hosting Mr. Tonoyoli, who is the chairman of Anambra State Sports Development Commission. We'll take a short break on the show. When we'll come back, I'll wrap up the interview segment on the sports show. Stick around.
Listen to this public service announcement. The Anambra State Sports Development Commission cordially invites you to the maiden edition of Walk4life. It holds this Saturday, the 3rd of November 2018. Tagged, Fun Way to Keep Fit. Walk schedule is as follows. Open ground, opposite Governor's Lodge, 6:30 a.m. Take off, 7 a.m. Final stop and aerobics at Njikoka Local Government Area, Abagana. There would be 4 refuel points along the route. The Walk4life is proudly supported by International Brewers PLC and Bullet Energy Drink.
On ABS TV, welcome back to the show. It's a Friday edition. Still in the house, we have Mr. Tonoyoli, the chairman of Anambra State Sports Development Commission, talking about sports in Anambra State, and we've had a special look at the Walk4life. Sir, thank you once more for joining us on the show. But before we let you go, let's get your advice to sports stakeholders and participants in all sports in Anambra State, and also your words to the participants for the Walk4life.
Well, my advice is for them to key into sports development. Come and partner with us. Okay, like the Walk4life tomorrow. We've already, gotten some working partners. We call them working partners. Working in terms of trekking. You understand? Because they are working with us tomorrow. Sure. So the likes of, Bled Energy, They are supporting us with T-shirts.
Wow.
International breweries, they are supporting us with some drinks. That is what we are looking at, looking for. Let the corporate, organizations in Anambra State come and partner with us.
I would like to keep this.
Sure, this is for you. And you're
Thank you
invited
much,
to, for the walk tomorrow.
Wow,
so
that's
you
massive.
you come around tomorrow. They gave us about 300 pieces, and we have shared all of them to make sure that people come and, so that there will be a uniform movement, okay? And our appeal to the corporate organizations that are there is to, come and partner with us.
Okay.
And then after tomorrow, we still go out to a lot of them to get these things and take sports to the next level in Anambra State.
All right, Mr. Tony Oli, Chairman, Anambra State Sports Development Commission, thank you immensely for joining us on Sports Today.
Thank you very much.
Definitely, you heard that. You have to be part of these are tomorrow happening from 6:30. Walk for Life, hashtag Walk for Life, the fun way to walk in Anambra State, an initiative of the Anambra State Sports Development Commission under the leadership of Mr. Tony Oli. We'll take a break on Sports Today. When we'll come back on the show, we'll go to the news segment and tell you what's trending in the world of sports. And Steve Light will be joining me on the show in a jiff. Join us again. The second half of the show, Sports Today on ABS TV, another Friday in the heart and soul of the city. Let's get to the main events now and check out what's happening across the globe. But we'll have to start here. Let's talk about Genotru. Yes, Genotru is in the news, and it's all about Eddie Onazi. Eddie Onazi has been omitted from the 23-man squad for the Super Eagles ahead of the AFCON qualifiers are coming up there, and we hear Eddie Onazi was omitted from Nigeria squad 2019 AFCON due to concern over his fitness. And of course, Genotru named his squad the 23-man squad for the match against Bafana that was on Tuesday, and equally the game against Uganda, the friendly we hear, and Onazi withdrew from the qualifying match against Libya. Also, that was in mid-October, citing lack of good health and not having good health and poor health. But going back to his club, he was given a clean bill of health. Quite some contrast, you have to say, from Eddie Onazi. Is he avoiding national assignment? Steve Light is in the house with me. And what a way to actually avoid not playing for your national team and then going back to your club, and you are given a clean bill of health to play for the club.
Up to this point again, and then another lack of match fitness once again. The circle goes on and on. We've seen professional footballers try to do this time after time. I think the most glaring one was last year at the AFCON, where Joel Matip refused to go back to play for Cameroon because he wanted to nail down a starting spot for Liverpool FC, and then he finally retired from the team, and now they went ahead to win the Nations Cup, something that he may never get to taste again on national level. So I think actually representing your country on the national level is an honor.
So pride and prestige.
It's all about pride and prestige. The honor of playing for your national team. People fight to get to that spot. People can do anything to just
get a call up.
To get a call up to show that they are good enough to be on that level, to play on the national level of football. But then you get an opportunity, and then probably because of club assignments or club ties, you decide to sever links with your country. I don't think it's a good one. If actually the first time we looked somehow when he went back to the club and the club gave him a clean bill of health, but this time around again he's being dropped. We don't exactly know whether it's still the health issue, whether it's just match fitness, or whether he was dropped because probably they want to try out new players. But I just hope it's not what we think it is, that probably he's trying to dodge, maybe to nail down a starting spot in his club. Because if you actually do well in national team, when you're on national assignments, you can actually bring back that good form you have to the club level. You replicate that at the club level, and then you get a shout out from your manager, and probably also a starting spot. But when you just sit back and probably just keep on training and the rest of that, we've seen players. So some Moses do it also. He retired from the national team just to focus on club football, and Chelsea played a match on Wednesday. He wasn't even against Ehud Derby County, and he wasn't even on the team list, not even on the bench. So sometimes you think you are focusing more on club football, but you find out that by not even taking those few minutes you can get from the national team, you don't even get to show the world and fans what you are made of, and for the fans to even support you and give you a shout that, hey, the coach, try to play this player, he has been good for his national team. So I think playing for a national team is actually an added bonus to every player.
It's an added bonus to every player, and it's coming at a point in time where we are missing some of our key players. Wilfred Ndidi is suspended for the game. He had the yellow card he got against Libya. With this, is not eligible
Mikel on
to
his
play for
sabbatical.
South Africa. Mikel on sabbatical is what you have to say. But we have a table in the team. We'll have our Ogo. And we'll have a certain Mikel Ago. Not quite a convincing performance from Mikel Ago. And some football fans are actually clamoring that Mikel Ago should not be included in the team, but he is there, and it looks like he may just be
we have to make do.
We have to make do with what we have for now, because we are at the brink of securing top spots.
And we need that.
Yeah, we need that top spot against next year's.
To get into top 8.
To get into the first spot, to be seeded first for during the draws next year. So I think we have to make do with what we have for now. We can't keep banking on players who are not available, who do not want to commit 100% to our football because their allegiances lie somewhere else. I think we have to focus on what we have now and be able to make the guys who are there now, the Mikel, the John Ogu, and the rest of them, the table. We have to make them work at the end of the day, and they can work, they can get the goods done at the end of the day. So I think it's what we should just focus on this time around, get those points against the Bafana, and then move and secure top spots there in the group.
Let's watch out and see how it goes. And of course, the qualifiers are coming up later this month, in between the months. We'll have the qualifiers are coming in here. South Africa there, the last game, and then you have Uganda, the friendly there. We are hearing that the Stephen Keshi Stadium in Asabe may be holding that one, but confirmations on that in due point. We'll get to tell you more on that. Let's talk about still on the national team, but the female side of the divide. Falcons coach Thomas Denabi is talking about the team, foreign-based players, and he has given them November 4 deadline to come into camp in preparation for the Alcon. We are talking about an Alcon that is expected to start November 17th. Look at the dates there.
We still have 35 players on the roster. He cut down 14. That was a few days ago. He cut down about 14 from 49 to 35. He cut down about 14 players, and then we are still here. So if you have this number of players, how many are being registered for the Alcon, and how many are we expecting to come back? I think these players have to show more zeal, like we're just speaking about now. In the former case, in the former news piece we just spoke about, they have to show more zeal to be able to show up. We have a tournament coming up this month, and then some players with the tag foreign-based players are not yet back, are not yet in camp. For whatever reason, the club should be able to release you. If they are not going to release you, we should be able to get a statement from the club saying, okay, we cannot release this player for this reason or that reason, and then we move along and know which players.
Going to be a tussle between clubs and the national team.
When it comes to national tournaments like the AFCON, the Alcon, and the rest of them, I think the clubs are more they are more willing to let players go. It's most times the players that do not want to come back. But I don't think this is the case for the girls. I think we don't really know exactly what it's up with it, but he has given them a deadline of 4th. And today is 2nd, which is Sunday, to be in camp. So probably by then he'll probably select from the bunch he has already. And I think it's most times just begin to work with what you have from the onset, because people can always disappoint. Things could always happen. But we're looking at having a large influx of players coming into camp between today and Sunday to make up the numbers. These are the foreign-based players. These are the key players that we have concerning the Alcon and when it comes to women football. So I believe that we should have a large influx of players coming in between now and Sunday. And then by that he can now select his final 23-man squad for the tournament itself.
And of course, it creates competitiveness in the team. The November 4 deadline given, but we probably have to add a caveat to that and tell you that the deadline hammer will not fall on the duo of Asisat Oshuala and Onome Ebi. Of course, they've been excluded for club engagements in China. The Chinese league out there will be coming to a crescendo anytime soon. And both players are expected to feature in the team's Jubilee, Charlotte, and those players are meant to say expected to be in the. Of course, I made mention of Jubilee, Charlotte, and Resort in Epe on November 6th as the Chinese Female League ends on Sunday. Just a confirmation of that one. You could recall that the Super Falcons are in the same group with South Africa, Kenya, and Zambia, and they should be preparing well for the Alcon, and maybe Nigeria could go one better and then fight for one of the 3 slots for the World Cup coming up in France, with 9 cities expected to host that one. And we'll hear the tickets for that one is already on sale online. If you go to FIFA.com, the official website, you get to know more about purchase of tickets for the female World Cup coming up in France next year. But first of all, we'll have to actually get over the hurdle, navigate the challenge in front of us, and then we'll talk about the world stage at this point in time. Let's get to the African scene. Former Ghana AFA boss Kwesi Yantaki is in the news. Kwesi Yantaki says he's going to appeal a life ban. Does he have the right to do that? What modicum of confidence does he have to do that after being caught on camera taking about $65,000? You begin to question the effrontery and the temerity some of these guys have. Kwesi Yantaki, he says he wants to appeal. He has lost so many positions. He has lost his position as Ghana AFA chairman, lost his position as a first vice president in CAF, and also lost his seat in FIFA, and he also has a sledgehammer on his head.
He was banned for life. You speaking about whether he has the right to do that. Obviously, he has the right. That's what the Court of Arbitration of Sports is for.
That's why he has the right.
He has the right.
It's a fundamental human right.
Yeah, fundamental football sports rights. Sports rights. He has a sports right to always go there and appeal. But looking at it, I think a life ban. It's good that they set an example with him to be able to bring the ban on him. But I think, in all fairness, I think probably it was a very, very lengthy ban.
Can we even compare and contrast? Doping test, you fail a doping test, and when you take bribe.
I think they should probably get the same level of punishment.
They should get the same level of punishment.
They should get the same level of punishment.
They should actually you give this one 2-year ban for doping.
And sometimes 4 years, and then you give
administrator.
5 years. But I think when it comes to
an athlete is more of a role model and a mentor than an administrator in that line of action.
Well, I'm not trying to hold the brief for him. I'm trying to bring out both the positives and the negatives of it. They should actually, to an extent, get the same level of ban. But then when it comes to allegations of bribery like this, someone in the administrative is always more likely to see more money.
More likely to see more money.
He's more likely to see
we
money.
Hear about players that sell matches, lose the game. And at the end, investigation comes out. We know what happened when Sierra Leone went to play a certain friendly. That the FA never knew about, Kamara never knew about that, and obviously the president also, Aisha Johansson, was not aware of it.
I think a ban of 5 to 10 years would have been fair at the end of the day, and he would have just moved on. But now the saga gets to drag on. He gets to drag FIFA to court, and the whole saga continues again. People who thought they are the Ghana FA itself, who thought, okay, probably we are past this phase whereby this would not be the headline news when it comes to Ghanaian football. Now I have to live through it again for the next months of how long, whatever it will drag, or whatever duration is this particular case is going to drag with CAS itself. So I think it's something that he could have probably gotten a linear sentence of probably maybe 5 to 10 years, and then everybody moves on. But this time around, I think a life ban is way too much, banning him from everything football related. So both on the international grassroots, whatever level, he doesn't have anything to do.
Through the crucibles, he has climbed the ladder. I don't think a life ban is suitable. Some ban of 5 years should have been 5 years.
5 to 10 years would have been okay. But now we get to watch this whole case and this whole saga drag on for who knows how long, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, as the case may be. We just our thoughts are out there with the Ghanaian FA.
Thoughts are out there. Anyways, your thoughts being out there, but I have to tell you that the Ghana FA right now is just a normalization committee in charge. We told you about the normalization committee having a meeting with stakeholders for club football sometime last week, and there was a fruitful resolution in the outcome of that. But they are yet to give us a date on when the Ghanaian league will be coming up. You know, it reminds me of when we talked about your break on the show. He said he wants to come back to Nigeria Professional Football League in the aftermath of losing his job as the coach of a Nigerian under-17. Maybe part of Ghanaian under-17, I beg your pardon. Maybe part of these things happening in Ghanaian football may just be the catalyst behind him wanting to come back to Nigerian football.
He spoke about our league being the Nigerian Professional Football League being more stable and more exciting for him, which he feels. It's a personal opinion, obviously, but I think so many people around the African, the continent would also echo that same sentiment. So I think it's when you have a league that is more exciting, more challenging for you, whereby there is no designated team that always wins the league every year. Gone are the days of Kano Pillars winning it as much as they like. Now this time around, it's being shared across to multiple clubs. They have almost a fair chance of winning it at every point in time. So I think it makes for a more exciting league. And also when you have a league that's not being disrupted, I think this is the first time in a long while we actually had a disruption in our leagues because of the issue at the Glass House over a period of time. And we have a set date already, although not set in stone, later this month for a kickoff of the new Professional Football League season. So I think these are the kind of things that he finds that, okay, there's stability, there's excitement, there's more of a chance challenge. I can take up a team that probably finished 10th last season and navigate them to continental places by next season. So I think those are the things that drive sports in Nigeria. Those are the things that drives athletes on the African scene, drive these managers to want to come into the Nigerian the Nigerian Professional Football League and want to be part of it itself than being outside and choosing some of the other West African leagues.
And of course, you know, on the show, we'll try to be extemporaneous, we try to bring you up to speed with events happening elsewhere. We've made mention of the Nigeria Professional Football League. We hear there's a tentative day for the Super Cup, November 21. We'll hear at the Stephen Keshi Stadium in Asaba, hosting that one. And of course, you expect Lobby Stars are the winner of the botched 2017-2018 Nigeria Professional Football League, taking on the winner of the ITO Cup 2018 Enugu Rangers. November 21, also there will be a congress, also the league stakeholders, and then we will be having the draws for the commencement of the league. According to MPFL and according to LMC stakeholders, they say the league will be commencing on December 1. Though it's a tentative date, will that come to fruition? We'll keep you posted and we'll continue to monitor that story as it goes on. Let's talk about tennis before we let's tell you tennis and football before we bounce on the show, and then we probably serve you the fixtures. And tennis, and Novak Djokovic has marked his return to world number 1 with a Paris win, and he defeated Damir Zuma to zoom into the quarterfinals of the Pant Masters. He ended 6-1. 2-1, and you have to say Dami actually pulled out due to injuries on that one, but you have to say congratulations to Novak Djokovic. I think it's been a contrasting year for him, starting this year with injuries, coming back in the ATP, trying to relaunch his career. I'm not sure he won any Grand Slam this year, did he?
He not really Grand Slam, but
Grand Slam was basically the ATPs.
Yeah, the ATPs itself. But it has been a fantastic year for Novak Djokovic. I was reading a piece on him. He is the first athlete, the first tennis athlete since the 1980s to be out of the top 20. Out of the top 20, and in a particular year season, he moves back into the number one spot. Although it was a quantum leap for him, but although he was helped largely by the fact that Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal were mostly injured this year. Even Rafael Nadal just pulled out again from the Paris Masters Open. So I think those things have actually helped him, but he has actually built up his confidence over the past 6 months. He has been speaking about how well he has gone from the beginning of the year, from when the season began, how difficult it was for him to be able to come back and keep that level, that same pedestal that he was known for, and then move back again up to being number 1 in the world at the end of the season. I think it's a phenomenal achievement for him at this point in time, and obviously it's a good thing that it's mostly a points-based system. Not a title-based system. If not, probably he wouldn't have been up there. But then the number of points he has been able to accumulate for during this period of about the last 6 to 7 months, he has been able to get back to the apex of world tennis again. So I think big congratulations out there to the Serbian for what he has been able to do in short span of time. He has been having a problem with his wrist, but I think he has been able to overcome that at this point in time. And congratulations to him there for getting back to the world number 1 spot.
Yeah, getting back to number 1 spot. You want to be at the peak of your game, at the zenith and the apex of that, and that's exactly what Novak Djokovic is doing right now. Wish him all the best in the coming year. 2019 promising to be another interesting year for tennis with more of ATPs. Quickly, just in 15 seconds before we roll out the fixtures, Aaron Ramsey, Arsenal, according to sources, are telling him, guy, you have to move on. We don't want you. They put up a transfer, they put up a contract on the decks. That contract was withdrawn. Aaron Ramsey now seems to be in between the devil and the deep blue sea.
I don't think he's between the devil and the deep blue sea. He's a fantastic player. He may not be the most technically gifted player, but I think every team needs a player like Aaron Ramsey, a player who can do a job in every part of the field. Aaron Ramsey, we've seen him several times play right wing forward.
He's falling down the pecking order to Alex Iwobi and Lucas Torreira.
I think why that is actually happening is probably Arsenal is beginning to they probably got the hint and the realization fast enough that okay, this man is not going to stick around for long.
Did he get into his head? Unai Emery came in and said, I want to build my game around Ramsey.
I think they were able, like I was just about to say, I think they must have realized that, okay, this young man isn't going to sign, so let's move on from him and bring in more players who are here for the long term, who we can build around. But I think every team needs a player like Ramsey. You see, and Manchester United has player like Young. and Valencia, players who can do a job at all parts of the field. Man City has someone like Danilo. They have someone like a De Bruyne who can do a work on every part of the field. So I think teams need this kind of players in the team. And I don't think by come January, I don't think Ramsey will be short of suitors in January.
Okay, let's watch out and see how it goes. Or if he's going to wind down his contract at Arsenal, we'll be watching out for that. Aaron Ramsey's been there for he's one of the most longest serving players right now. Let's talk about the fixtures of matches now before we bounce on the show. Let's go through now. Bournemouth will take on Manchester United. It's lunchtime kickoff at 12:30. There's a time change right now. That game is 1:30. Let's look at 4 p.m. kickoff at Cardiff City, Leicester City, Everton, Brighton, Newcastle, Watford, West Ham United will take on Burnley, Arsenal, Liverpool. Watch out for the match. 6:30 on Saturday. It's a cracker. Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Molineux will take on Tottenham Hotspur. Man City, Southampton on Sunday, and Chelsea hosting Crystal Palace. We'll talk about the London derby. There's a London derby in the fray again. Let's talk about the Spanish La Liga, the Primera División. Leganes, Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid. We hope to continue with their form against Real Valladolid. Is Valencia. The Mestalla taking on Girona. Rayo Vallecano will host Barcelona. Ayaba will host Alves. Villarreal. Real Madrigal will take on Levante. Is Huesca hosting Getafe. Real Sociedad will take on Sevilla. And Real Betis at the Benito Villamarín will host Celta Vigo in Spain. In Italy, Inter Genoa, Fiorentina, the Viola, the Artemio Fionci will take on Roma. Is Juventus at the Della Pai taking on Cagliari. Lazio, the Stadio Olimpico will host Spal. Chievo Verona will take on Sassuolo. Parma will host Frosinone. Sampdoria, the Bluesecchiati will take on Torino. Is Bologna taking on Atalanta, and Udinese hosting Milan. In Italy, in Germany, is Leverkusen taking on Hoffenheim. Augsburg will take on Nürnberg. Bayern Munich, Freiburg, Schalke, the Veltins Arena will take on Hanover. Wolfsburg, Borussia Dortmund is in the cards. Hertha Berlin will take on Leipzig. Borussia Mönchengladbach will host Fortuna Düsseldorf, and it's Mainz taking on Werder Bremen. Those are the matches in Germany for the weekend, and that's just about it. But quickly, Arsenal, Liverpool, before we jet your take. Liverpool unbeaten streak, is it going to end on Saturday?
Arsenal is in good form at this moment, at this point in time, but I'll go out for a draw, or probably a Liverpool win.
Let's see as it goes for you. And for me, I think an Arsenal win is in the cards for me. Peter, thank you very much for being on the show.
It was good to be here.
That's just about it for sports today. We'll do this Mondays to Fridays, 9:15 to 10 on this dial. Thanks a lot for being part of the show. From the ever-blazing, hard-working team, remember to join us on Saturday for another edition of our Sports Today. My name is Ike Mokede. Have a lovely weekend.